Hi campervan fans, I'm back again in week 14 of this lockdown. Who'd have thought that I'd have done so many videos? When I started it, I didn't imagine that I would do all the counties in England, but it's looking like I might. I feel a bit like I've started, so I've got to finish now. This week we're going to do 2 more landlocked counties. We're going to go to Worcestershire. Obviously we're not going to go anywhere, we're going to virtually go to Worcestershire and Leicestershire. They're both landlocked, and that would be number 37 and number 38 of the counties so far, I think. So well done if you've watched them all. Let's do some random facts for you after I've told you approximately how far. So Worcestershire is approximately to the county town of Worcester, approximately 120 miles. 2.25-ish hours, I suppose. It's another cathedral city, Worcester, in the middle of this, it's not quite in the middle of this landlocked county. Some facts, they are a bit random. It's not a county that I know a lot about, so I've googled them all. The River Severn is the longest river in Britain. It stretches 220 miles, I believe, to the sea. It goes out the Bristol Channel, we mentioned it before, but it actually flows north to south through Worcestershire. So it meanders through towns such as Stourport-on-Severn, so it's called On-Severn because it's on the River Severn, Worcester itself, and somewhere else called Upton-on-Severn, Upton-upon-Severn, sorry. For many centuries, the Malvern Hills, you might remember they got a mention in Herefordshire. They formed a barrier, a physical barrier to invaders from the west. The highest point in Worcestershire is Worcestershire Beacon. It's 1,400 feet above sea level. When we talked about Bedfordshire, we talked about Luton being famous for making hats. Well, in Worcester, apparently, Worcester was formerly one of the UK's leading glove making areas. I didn't know that. And some leather companies, what they did was they employed people locally to make these fine leather gloves, but actually in their homes. So they worked at home and then sold the produce to the leather companies. I found out that Barrow's Worcester Journal is the world's oldest surviving newspaper. It's been continually published every week for more than 300 years, which seems phenomenal. I've got a fact about an author, C.S. Lewis. He wrote the Narnia stories, so you might have heard of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, that series of stories. Now I found 2 versions of this stories, but there is a geographical link with Worcestershire. So apparently, this is version 1, when C.S. Lewis found a Victorian gas lamp shining in the middle of a wood in Worcestershire. He was so intrigued that he wrote about it in his Narnia stories. Now, a different version of this is that actually he was walking home in the wintertime from a Malvern pub, so close to the Malvern Hills, and he was actually with Tolkien, who wrote The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. This is the second version of the story. And apparently when they saw the lamppost shining in the snow, it's believed that C.S. Lewis said to Tolkien, that'd make a nice opening to a book. So either way, apparently to this day, there is a street lamp that shines in the Malvern area, in a wooded area, and it's where he was known to be living and sometimes visiting public houses. So there might be some truth in it. Like I said, those were random facts today. We'll go to Leicestershire next time, which is another landlocked county. I will see you all soon.